Hello, everybody. Welcome to our office for Sunday Night Live. Uh, I guess I'm your host, Jimmy Malloy, along with my better half, Marilyn. And, we're happy to see you guys with us. Looks like a bunch of you are popping on here, which is fantastic. We weren't quite sure. We had kind of a full afternoon and weren't sure what kind of response we'd get on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So we're happy to see you all here. Would remind all of you, it would be great if you drop a like or a love or a comment in the box. That way we know that you're here and we can see who's with us. So you can maybe throw your favorite, see if you can find your favorite GIF or meme or something, try to drop it in the comments. You can do that, right? On a Facebook Live. Can you share like pictures and things?
I don't
remember how that works. So
I don't think
maybe
so. I think
maybe
you
you
can
can't
only
do that. So
comment.
you can drop your
Oh.
favorite emoji or something, and that way we know that you're here.
So I
who do we
see
see?
Cindy
Kelsey.
and Kelsey and Tammy and Matthew.
Matthew, what is up, everybody? And I know there's at least a handful more of you that haven't commented yet. So if you do that, that'd be fantastic. And then we can see who's all here. Someone's saying it's not
Yeah.
letting me share a GIF.
Kelsey said that. I don't think you can.
Bummer. That would be
Oh.
fun. It's too bad you can't share those things. Paul found a workaround. That's his favorite. I guess that's like an avatar or something. So that works. We're gonna just give a couple more minutes for some more folks to jump on here. Maybe another minute or so.
I'm laughing at
before we
Gita
get
because
started.
she did the poop emoji.
Oh, poop emoji. Well, there you have it. Okay. I did say your favorite emoji, so however you happen to be feeling, that's great. So, Gita, we found a Christmas tree. You think this one will work?
For the float?
For the Just kidding. No, we actually got a real Christmas tree. And we'll talk about that in just a second.
Well, not a real one, but
a bit better than this one, Christmas tree. Although this is kind of fun. This little
cute.
tree.
I used to use that at my desk at work.
So hoping that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I know we had shot something out there just encouraging people to take advantage of Thanksgiving and really just, even with all that's going on in the world, to pause and just take inventory of what our blessings are and make sure that we're grateful for that. And I know, like, our pastor and probably everybody's pastor on Thanksgiving week was talking about just the importance of thankfulness and how that really can contribute. It unlocks things, in the kingdom of God, and it's a critical part of what we're doing. So anyway, hopefully you were able to enjoy that Thanksgiving with family and friends, and you didn't get in any like knockdown, drag them out fights over politics or things along those lines. But as we head into the Christmas season, hopefully it can be a time of joy and a time of thankfulness, and we can, really focus on the things that are positive. So anyway, so what's new, babe?
There's a new variant.
Oh, allegedly there is a new variant. It's called like Megatron or something like that, isn't it?
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I think it's called like Omnitron.
It's
something
some sort
along
of
those lines.
Transformer name or something.
Right.
I don't know.
So it's Optimus Subprime or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
I can't keep track.
Not to make light of COVID, not trying to do that. I'm sure, variants can be serious and all of those things, but there are some very interesting things about the timing of these variants and, blah, blah, blah. So I know there's been a lot already on the page about that. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions, but just interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stay with interesting. So, on Sunday nights, what we like to do is kind of go over what's gone on in the last week, go over maybe what's coming up in the next week, just give a little bit of news. We think that this one's going to be a little bit short. I know that our lives have gone up over an hour, which I'm sure is not good for viewership, but when there's a lot going on, there's a lot to talk about, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that there's been a whole lot of
I mean, this was Thanksgiving week,
news,
right?
past and
Yeah.
coming up this
Yeah.
week. But I really wanted to make sure that we did a Facebook Live because we really need to recruit people for the parade on Thursday, and this is the Tulare parade. So we have a small team of people that got together on Saturday, yesterday. All my days like run together. Can't even think straight. And we kind of just started hammering out, how to decorate the float and stuff. And I think that that's going to be. And I just picked up a tree from somebody that's in our group that donated it to us. She
Yeah.
was like, I said, okay, I'm going to get it back to you. Like, I'll try and get it back to you by the end of the week. The parade's on Thursday. And she was like, if you don't give it back, my feelings aren't hurt. Like, hint, hint, I'm trying to actually get rid of this tree. So I was
Yeah.
like, sweet, then no hard feelings that, because I always get kind of nervous when I borrow something from somebody and I'm like, if it gets damaged, then I'm going to have to buy the new one or whatever. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
So it is.
Mhm.
So just, I guess, to give some details on this, again, this is the Tulare Christmas Parade, which is on Thursday. We do know that the Visalia Christmas Parade is tomorrow night. We weren't able to get in to that one because they had a deadline that was earlier than what we could meet. But, for anybody who might be going, if you want to pass out a bunch of unmasked Tulare County cards to people that you see, we're not going to discourage you from doing that. So, again, we weren't able to get into the Visalia one, but we will be in the Tulare Christmas Parade, which is Thursday night. So this coming Thursday night, which is the 2nd
December 2nd
of December.
Yes.
So that's going to be going on the 2nd. If you can join us, you don't have to be from Tulare. We'd love to see just kind of a small army come from all over Tulare County. If you want to join us, we know we've got some folks coming in from Exeter, which will be exciting. Hopefully we'll have some from Visalia, Porterville, and the other areas, the other towns and stuff around Tulare County. And really what we're doing is, it's a kids' Christmas parade. So the theme is a pajama party. And we don't want to go into like a kids' Christmas parade, like being the angry people in the group, right? That was kind of one of the things that we talked about was, the messaging when it comes to this kind of a children's Christmas parade is that we don't want to, go out there yelling about how, people are dumb when it comes to COVID mandates and they need to wake up and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of developed a different sort of theme that we're going to use for that. And it basically revolves around kids having a party and writing Christmas letters to Santa, right?
Yeah. And what they want for Christmas.
Yeah.
And what do kids want for Christmas?
Well, a lot of our kids probably want to stop wearing masks at school.
Yeah.
They'd love to see their teachers and friends' faces again, or, not be forced to have their teachers resign from school because they don't want to get a COVID jab, things along those lines, right?
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
kind of how we're going to frame this is we're going to say, look, we want to have, we'll have a float with a bunch of kids around a table writing out their Christmas lists, and we're going to record some kids' voices to just play out to everybody saying, for Christmas this year, we want freedom. For this Christmas this year, we love for masks, to not be a thing in school anymore. We love for our teachers, blah, blah, blah. So we'll have a list of like 4 or 5 different things. And then we'll have little handouts as well that we can go out and just pass out along with a candy cane to people who are in the crowd. And it'll point them to our Facebook group. It'll point them to our webpage and help them to get involved if they want to be. So we'll have probably 8 or 10 kids probably riding on this float. And then the rest of us are going to walk and we're going to pass out flyers and we're just going to kind of do our thing and spread the message. So,
and it's not a very long parade. I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quick.
Yeah, I want to say
it starts on K Street and then it goes to Tulare Avenue and then back up M.
Yeah, so it might be like a mile top. So
Maybe.
If you're wondering if I can walk this thing, it's probably walking about a mile. But yeah, we'd love for people to come out and join us. What time do you want them there, babe?
Well, it starts at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to receive an email this week giving me more details. So at this time, I don't know yet. But let me see if I can find it. At the top of our Facebook page, Okay, I don't know. Can you guys see this?
There you go.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, where it says featured, I pinned this post
To the top.
to the top so
Yeah.
it doesn't get lost in our feed. So if you, I'm going to give all my updates about the parade in here, except if you scroll through, you'll see the parade route. I guess I can screenshot that and
Yeah,
have
and
that
put that
in
in
there
there.
also. But we're going to try and set it up to where once the parade is over, maybe my car is parked at the end of the parade route, and I can give rides back to those that parked at the beginning of the parade route and get everyone back to where they need to go.
But there again, it's not the Visalia parade where you're going to have to go for miles. We're talking about, a block to get back to the beginning of the parade. So again,
Yeah, it's
the
not
walk
very
isn't
long.
the walk isn't very big. It's not a huge commitment like it is in some cities. So
Well, and it almost goes kind of like in a U.
Right.
So it's like you start here, you go across, and then you come back up, and then you just need to go back over to the beginning to get
Right.
back to where you parked.
Right. So that's going on. Again, this is Thursday. We're probably going to ask everybody to be there between 5:30 and 6, if I had to
That's
guess,
what I
if the
would
parade is
think.
going to start.
Yeah.
That way we can get everybody on the same page, make sure we know what's going on. And then
And if you're interested in helping us decorate, I think for the most part, when we went, we got, I think, just about everything that we need to decorate. So yeah, we just need people that want to come and help us decorate the trailer. If you want to come, just you can send a message to myself and I can give you the address. It's here in Tulare, so I know that for some people that live in Exeter, it's kind of harder
Sure.
to make that that drive, and that's totally understandable. But I think we're planning on meeting on Tuesday afternoonish, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
And if we can get, a good handful of people, we can probably just
knock it out pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. It'd be a good opportunity.
And it was actually a lot of fun the other day. Like when we all first met, I was like, I don't know how to decorate a float. I have never done this. I don't even know where to start. And then like Gita and Elizabeth were just like, well, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I was like, all right, ladies, have at it. Because
Yep.
I don't know what's going on.
But we got a good plan together. It's going to be great. So the other thing we need is a couple of kids who wouldn't mind reading a script, because we're going to put together probably tomorrow and Tuesday is going to be the deadline I set for myself to put together like a little piece of audio where we'll have some songs going in the background, and then we'll just have kids that are going to read. And it'll probably be like little snippets of 10 seconds, 15 seconds each about what their letter to Santa is, because we want to just repeat this all the way throughout the parade so people can hear it, on both sides of the float. So it'll be kind of quick, but I do need some kids' voices that we can do. So if you have any children, preferably like elementary age, I think we want them to be able to read and kind of put together a good sentence. But I'd also love to maybe have some preschool kids that we could just do a whole bunch of those sound clips. So if you're interested or you have a kid who could maybe do that, I'm thinking the easiest way to do it is I might just send you what they're to read. And if you want to shoot me like a little video, you can just shoot a video and then send it over to me privately. That way we don't have to, I don't know, if you want to put it publicly in the group, that's cool. If you want your kid to be on there saying that, I can pull it from there, or you can just send it to me in Messenger or email it to me at info@unmaskedtularecounty.com. And then we can put that thing together. But I'd love to have, a dozen different voices maybe that are reading off different things. That way it sounds pretty good. We'll just stick some Christmas music behind it or something. That way it's kind of festive. And again, we're not looking for angry voice, but we're looking for something that, hey, for Christmas this year, we'd love it, Santa, if you could bring us X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case might be. But if you're interested, I see somebody said that
was Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth, sweet. So yeah, we'd love to do that here in the next day or two. So reach out to me and let me know. That way I can get like a script to you and have them read any or all of them, and then I can just pull it apart that way. So yeah, exciting. It'll be fun, but I think it'll be a good time. And I love these events too, where we can get together and the cause is serious, right? And we're about serious things. But one of the great things is just meeting people and hanging out with people and getting to know all of you. And so, this will be a good opportunity to do that in kind of a fun way, but, communicate a serious message
Yeah.
and, hopefully add to our army. We've got a lot of people out there still who have no idea that we even exist. And so
Yeah.
something like this, something like a Christmas parade would allow us to get some visibility and hopefully pull in some folks that think they're the only ones out there feeling the way that they're
Yeah.
feeling, right?
Right.
So anyway, that should be good. So we got the Christmas parade on Thursday. This is a down week, really, for school board meetings. So anybody who is wanting to go to school boards, I think the only thing I see happening this week is on Wednesday, Liberty Elementary and Three Rivers Elementary both have their board meetings, unless that's changed. Sometimes in the month of December, they make last minute changes and I don't get those emails or anything. So as of right now, Liberty is scheduled for Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. That's, here in Tulare. If you need the address, you can find it or reach out and we'll give it to you. Also, Three Rivers Elementary up in Three Rivers is on the 1st from 6:30 or at 6:30 as well. So if you live in those areas and care to attend those meetings, it's probably going to be the only meetings you get for December. So you can go in there and kind of let them know what your feelings are. You can comment during public comment about anything, whether it's teacher mandates, masks, upcoming vaccine mandates for kids, any of these things. This is your opportunity to get in there and just kind of give them your opinion and what you think. And what we have to remind these board members, we were just talking about it in a conversation today. We have to remind these board members that they are elected to represent us. And they need to be reaching out and figuring out how we feel about certain things. That way they can represent us to their schools. They can represent us to Sacramento, the different places where they have influence or need to have influence. So they need to hear from us so they know how we feel. If they don't hear from us, whether we're sending emails or showing up to board meetings or whatever the case might be, they're just going to think everything's great. And we're just going to go on business as usual. So it's critical in the type of constitutional system that we have in this representative republic. They have to hear from you and know how you feel in order for things to happen the way they're supposed to. So it's critical that we continue to show up. And if you've never gone to a board meeting before, now's your chance. This is a great opportunity to get out there, get outside your comfort zone, and jump into that sort of a thing. So outside of that, most school districts are only going to have one board meeting in the month of December. And that's reasonable because, everybody has so much going on in December. So the following week, we have a couple of them. I think Exeter actually got moved. They were supposed to be on the 8th, but they're now on the 15th. If anybody here is from Exeter watching this, you can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that got moved to the 15th. So there's Buena Vista, which is held at the County Office of Ed on Wednesday, the 8th. And then Porterville Unified, which is one of the big ones that's going to be held next week, is on Friday the 10th at 1 p.m. So it's weird that they did 1 p.m., but that's what they did. So that's next week. That would be Friday the 10th. And then just looking ahead a little bit more, on Tuesday the 14th, there's a bunch of them. You got Tulare City School District, Farmersville Unified, Visalia Unified, Tipton Elementary School District, and Sundale Elementary School or Sundale School District going on that Tuesday. And then that Thursday will be Tulare Joint Union High School District on the Thursday the 16th. So that kind of fills out the month of December. There's probably a bunch of smaller school districts that I didn't list off. If you need help finding that information, we can certainly give it to you. But that's what we have on our calendar. And just to throw a shout out for the calendar, if you do go to our website, unmaskedtularecounty.com, Paul, our website guru, has put in a calendar feature. So it's just a tab at the top. You can click calendar, and it's just an ongoing calendar for events and for school board meetings. So you can check everything out there. And if you have districts and stuff that are not on there that you would like on there, let us know, and we can work on getting those things added as well. So, excuse me, from a school district standpoint, that's what's going on for the next few weeks. I see somebody's asking about Lindsay Unifieds.
Yeah, she said they're every 2 weeks.
Every
and their
2
next
weeks?
one should be
Okay.
on 12/6. We we tried to get as many districts in there as we could, but believe it or not, is there 100 or over 100?
Over 100.
There's over 100 districts in Tulare County. So we're not trying to leave other districts out. It's just that there's a lot of districts. So a lot of times not a lot of times, what we did do is, we obviously highlighted, some of the larger districts, Visalia Unified is the largest district from my understanding in Tulare County. So, we want to make sure that we have people that are, going and representing at that district. And of course, we want to represent, Tulare City School and Tulare Joint Union High School District, because we have a child in each of those districts. So that kind of hits, close to home for us. So,
but yeah, I put a note down here for Lindsay School District, so we'll get that added to the calendar as well.
So yeah, it's not like we're trying to leave districts out, or we're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings.
Nope. It's just it takes a little effort to get all this together.
There's over 100, so there's a lot. So, and me and Jimmy, we can't do it all on our own. That's why we have the calendar, and we're like, okay, go out and.
No, and we're grateful for everybody. Like I said, Paul has put together the website, and we're super grateful for that. So again, thank you, Paul, for your hard work on doing that, and we certainly do appreciate that. So with that, we do have a couple of other announcements that we wanted to make. Some stuff that's coming up. I don't have a ton of details on them yet because all of these things take planning. We hesitate a little bit to really announce things until there's some concrete details about them, but also want to let you know about stuff coming up so that you can put them on your calendar so you know that there's something there. Now, one of those things, and this is something that we just have been meeting together, it's another one of those events where we have leaders that are in different communities throughout the county and putting together an event for Saturday, the 11th of December. So hopefully you don't have Christmas parties and parades and whatnot all going on that day, because what we're going to try to do is put together something that is a countywide freedom rally. And we're going to look at holding this in Exeter, and some of you might say, why Exeter? And one of the reasons we're kind of picking Exeter for a few of these things is that when you look at the county as a whole, Exeter is kind of one of the places that's easiest for everybody to get to. And I know we live in Tulare. Exeter is like a 15 to 18 minute drive to get wherever we need to get to there. From Porterville, it's a lot easier to get to Exeter than it is to get, say, to Visalia or Tulare or somewhere like that. So we're going to see how this goes. But we're looking to put together what we're calling a freedom rally in Exeter for the 11th of December. It's going to be about noon. We're going to try to get Exeter City Park, which we'll get all the information there. But we're looking to bring in a few different speakers who are going to talk about different stuff. But one of the big things that we're going to be doing is gathering people to be able to sign some documents. And what we're doing is we've got a few things that we're going to be putting some pressure on school boards, and it could also be used for businesses who are trying to implement mandates or rejecting religious exemptions, things along those lines. But it's a little bit more of a legal thing. It's not like a get an attorney involved legal thing, but they're basically written demands asking for, it's an inquiry. There's a process that we would go through that we're sending them a written inquiry that's asking for 20-something questions to be answered, and pretty much putting a demand on them to answer these things in writing. There's a notice to show evidence of clean hands, which is basically getting at, what your motivation is behind doing these different mandates, everything from masking to testing to quarantining to vaccinating, all of this stuff, trying to get to the answer of, are you doing this because it's the right thing to do? Or are you doing this because we're tracing the money and whoever's giving you the money is putting strings attached to these things? And when that happens, if we can prove that it's because there's money and strings attached, then, they lose a little bit of legal standing by saying that it's, for the common good. So anyway, we're going to be putting some pressure on that. We're going to have people signing affidavits that we'll be sending to the various school boards and districts and things. And what we're doing is, in essence, we're setting up a legal argument where we're giving them every opportunity to give us answers that they probably won't give us. Truthfully, any of you who have sent requests out to school boards and, you know, done the email thing and trying to get actual answers, know that you usually get met with either we'll get back to you, or they just meet you with silence, or they give you, you know, you have to talk to our attorney or something along those lines. So really the way these things are written is in a way that it would be to our advantage if they don't answer us, because we're giving them opportunity to provide us with the answers that we, the people, are demanding. And if they don't give them to us, they're kind of putting themselves in a difficult legal spot when and if it gets to that point where we're going to court. So we said last week when we were talking about what the next steps are when it comes to our schools. And now is the time where we're going to be putting pressure on them to actually create change. And if they're unwilling to do that, I mean, we talked last week and I got a little bit of passion and I apologize about that. But if they're not willing to fight with us, it's time that they need to step down. And, you know, I can't really think of a nicer way to put that. And what I mean is that when people run for office in the United States of America, in Tulare County specifically, they are running for office to represent the people in whatever capacity they're serving. So whether that's a school board, whether that's city council, whether that's county supervisor, whether that's, you know, whatever it is that they're running for elected office, they are offering themselves and saying, if you elect me, I will represent you. When it comes to, like, if we're talking school boards, I will represent you to Sacramento. And so when Sacramento puts down their rules, when they put down their mandates, when they put down their guidance, if I'm running for office, I'm saying I will represent you, the people, in that role, in that office. And so what's happened now is that they have it backwards. And a lot of these board members think that they represent Sacramento towards us. And we need to flip the script and turn that on them. And if they're not willing to represent us, then the beautiful thing about our nation, the beautiful thing about how the Constitution and everything was written, is that we can replace them with people who will represent us.
Yep.
And I feel like that's where we're at, because we've asked them for months to stand alongside us and fight along with us. And we're sick and tired of my hands are tied, I can't do anything, I won't even stand with you and fight.
We have to follow the rules.
So if you're not going to fight, if you're not going to stand with us, if you're not going to represent we the people, then it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we're at. And we're going to say, look, okay, first of all, we are not going to stand by and just allow this craziness to happen in our schools. Teachers are going to be losing their jobs. Like teachers who have put everything in their entire lives into doing what they do, great teachers who do a great job educating our kids, they're going to push them out. They're going to lose their jobs, their livelihoods, their ability to teach in the next, 6 months, whenever it is that they fully approve this vaccine. It's just crazy. Classified staff, people who work for the districts who are not teachers, are in the same exact boat. They're going to force all of these folks out. It's madness. You know, they're talking about our kids and what they're masking our kids every single day, all day, masking our kids for what? You know, there's no risk to them when it comes to COVID. These policies, just because Sacramento says to do it, we have to fight back. And these people need to know that if they're not with us, they're against us, and they're going to have to be replaced. So it's time to put pressure. It's time to, and we mentioned this last week, if you or somebody you know is able, willing to serve in that capacity, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist, you can serve in that capacity, then we need to know who those people are in the areas where we need to replace school district folks. And not all school district people are bad. There's some that will stand with us and fight. But for those who are not, I'm sorry, but we have to take it back. It has to become we the people.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what this whole thing is about. So the time for nice and playing nice and all of that, as much as I love that and that is my way of doing things, the time for that is gone. You know, we're going to be running out of time soon. And so we need to get these things done now. We can't respond as soon as a mandate comes into place.
Yeah.
We can't wait until the day they say, okay, your kid has to be vaccinated or he can't come to school. You know, if you want to vaccinate your kid, that's cool. Like, it should be the parent's choice. It should be the individual's choice
Yes.
on whether or not they want to mask their kids, on whether or not they want to test their kids, whether or not they want to quarantine their kids or vaccinate their kids. Like, I'm not throwing shade on anybody who makes that decision for their own family.
But that decision needs to be made at home.
Yeah.
Period. I'm
Period.
sorry.
End of story. So
I mean, I'm sorry, but the school district has no business telling me and you what to do for for our kids.
yeah, the school districts should be about reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh yeah.
That's the focus.
Yes.
It's education when it comes to curriculums and things along those lines.
Yeah.
If they don't need to be getting into political arguments, they don't need to be getting into social arguments. They don't need to be. I mean, we can talk about a lot of other issues besides COVID-related issues that they don't need to be getting into.
They don't need to be masking our kids either. I'm sorry.
No, so let's get back to what you need to be doing and let us take care of the rest of this stuff. So anyway, digress. We were talking about this freedom rally. No, it's okay. I got a little off topic here. But, this freedom rally, what we're going to be doing on the 11th, we're going to bring people in and, we're going to have some speakers. I'm not ready to announce speakers yet because we don't have confirmations, but, it'll be good. We'll have a variety of different people coming in to talk about things. There will be more information coming out this week, but if you want to mark your calendar for the 11th, probably from like noon to 2, noon to 3, that area, we'll make it worth your while to come out there. So it'll be good. You can, Exeter's a great little town. If you want to go in to do some Christmas shopping while you're there, there's a lot of great little stores and boutiques and things that are right there in that area.
That's cute.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the year, like we've
Exeter.
talked about this a lot, that, it's going to be hard probably to order all of our crap off of Amazon this year because it's all on ships out in the bay. Or it's going to be
you're going to find it swimming in the middle of the ocean.
They're going to be routing around to Florida where they'll actually unload ships. I don't know. So, I want to encourage you guys too to shop local. Like, we all have friends who like make things or build things or create things locally. This should be the year that we're going to support local people who are doing their local thing. So reach out to those people, fill your Christmas stockings with something that, your friend down the street or your neighbor actually makes or builds or creates. So, let this be the year where people are getting stuff that's actually locally made. So you can pretty much guarantee that you get it.
I know. I'm trying to figure out you guys. So I want to get into more, like, I've gone kind of like crazy with the, help me explain it.
Natural, holistic.
Yeah, I'm kind of more into the natural, using, I'm more into using products that use what they call like clean ingredients and stuff. And so I'm like trying to make my own hand soap. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can sell these for Christmas. It has been such a nightmare, you guys. I'm like, I don't know what these ladies on YouTube are talking about. Like, oh, you just mix these 2 ingredients and you got your soap. I made this soap. I was all proud of myself. And then it turned into like, I don't know. I was like.
Turned into like rubber. Yeah. It was a good effort though. It was a good effort. Quality effort.
I was like, okay, this is why people just buy this, the toxic stuff in the stores because it's easier.
Right. But hey, it's probably a good idea.
I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying to be like little Susie Miss Homemaker or whatever.
It's a good idea to learn how to do that kind of stuff anyway, right?
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons. So anyway, I want you to mark your calendar for December 11th. That's a Saturday. We're going to be in Exeter starting at noon. That'll be an exciting thing. More info to come in the next probably 3 days because we know we need to give people time to plan and do all that. So,
and it'll be cool to meet people because I recognize a lot of, like, I know names, but I don't know faces because, our group is over 1,500 or like 1,500 members or whatever.
Yeah.
So I haven't met everybody.
Right.
So I don't know. It'd be nice to meet people and people are like, oh, this is who I am. And this is, we're in this district and we're,
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what we're dealing with or whatever. So that's always fun.
You bet. So I was going to mention too, along with school board meetings and stuff, I want to encourage everybody here in Tulare. We've been kind of behind the scenes working with teachers specifically and a bunch of parents and stuff to try to get as many people at the December board meeting as you can. So whether you're in Visalia, whether you're in Farmersville, Visalia, Tipton, Porterville, Exeter, all of these places that are within our county. Try to, individually gather up as many people within your city as you can, just to get them to that board meeting. We'd love to leave our school boards with the image of a ton of parents who are just saying, you know what, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't have to get all wild and crazy. You can if you want. I don't, you do what you'd want to do. But, just let them know, like, we're not going to stand for this. Like, this is not okay. And so you can go in and, speak your piece for 3 minutes or however the time period is. I would encourage you, like, be respectful. You can still honor the position and disagree. You can still honor the position and say, we're going to stand. We're not going to go for this. Like, you don't have to cuss and yell and scream.
No.
But you can get your point across and just say, look, there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us who are feeling this way, and you need to do something about it. You need to make a change, or we're going to end up having to replace your positions. Don't make threats. You might want to make sure you worded it in a way like, no, we're going to end you. Don't say anything crazy like that. But you can say, hey, if you guys won't stand up and represent us, the people, then we're going to replace you with people who will. So,
and for those who are thinking about running for a position, if you're a believer, I want to encourage you to start praying about it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that these positions are filled with people that are called to that position.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be praying about it.
Yeah. And if you're not thinking about running for one of these positions, again, we want to encourage you to think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're just like, oh man, somebody should do this. And then you realize, oh man, that somebody is me. That's why we're sitting here right now on this Facebook Live, because we were sitting there being like, oh, somebody should do this. And then we realized, you know what? Okay, we feel like God is calling us and saying, you know what, it needs to be you guys. And it's not us that's doing everything. It's just us who's jumped out there and tried to be visible and tried to, gather up all you guys and figure out a way to make this thing work.
Well, because we knew we weren't alone. Yeah. I knew I wasn't the only person that was uncomfortable sending my kids to school with a mask on their face. Yeah. I knew that I wasn't the only one that just thought, this isn't right. Something doesn't add up. Something is just not, computing here. And so I had to find other like-minded people because I knew I wasn't alone.
Sure.
So
I do want to put out a request I forgot about as we're talking about this December 11th thing. We had this idea, and I don't know whether it's going to materialize or not, but if any of you know someone or are someone who plays a good Santa Claus and has a great Santa suit or anything like that, it would be cool if we could put something together like pictures with Santa for the kids. And so
at the rally
in Exeter on the 11th of December.
Okay.
So yeah, don't do any Santa Claus stuff at the parade.
No Santa at the parade, or we will not be allowed to be in the parade because they have, I believe it's at the end of the parade.
Yeah, Santa comes at the end.
Santa is in the parade. So, for us, believers in Santa, it would confuse people if they see two Santas in the parade. Right. So that's why they do not allow people to be dressed up as Santa in the Tulare parade.
No, but it's fair game for our rally on the 11th. So if you know a Santa Claus that would be maybe like-minded and willing to come out and donate some time to take some pictures with some kids, that would be awesome. And if you could point them our way, we can start putting that together. So if you happen to know somebody, that would be fantastic. Or if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, like maybe reach out and see if we can make that work. But that would be fantastic. Also, food trucks. If you have people, and probably Exeter food trucks would be the best. I don't know how many food trucks will drive from like Visalia or whatever to that area, but we do want to be able to offer a place where people can go in and get some food while we're there. So if you have any contacts or connections when it comes to food trucks and things, reach out to us as well, and we can try to put that together. So Saturday, December 11th, noon, Exeter. You want to be there. Plan to be there. Cancel your plans. Make sure you're there. And if you're having Christmas that day, cancel it. Sorry, this is important. I'm just kidding. But anyway, try to be there if you can. That would be phenomenal. And the other thing I want to just remind everyone of is January 3rd. Yeah. And I think somebody had asked if there were more details. The short answer to that is no, there are not more details yet. So as soon as we
please
get those,
just don't make plans for that day.
yeah,
Your
just leave
plans
it
are to
open.
go to Sacramento.
Yeah, everybody who's watching
just
this, everybody's neighbors who are watching this, your parents, your family, your kids, your cousins, your out-of-state relatives, like their plans for that day are to drive up to Sacramento with us and rally, because we're going to go let Sacramento know, again, what they are doing is not okay. And if we have 5,000 people show up across the state, that sucks. That's a loss. It's not a win. If we have that many people show up, we need 50,000 to show up. And so for 50,000 to show up, that means Tulare County's got to be well represented. So everybody is going. And if that one, I'm kind of serious. If you have plans, cancel them, so we can get up there. I don't ask you to do a whole lot, like for sure, but we need to mobilize. We need to get off Facebook and mobilize in person to something like that, because everybody we talk to says, you know what, your problem is in Sacramento. They're the ones who make the rules. So we're going to go up and we're going to give them our best shot. We're going to be like David. We're going to grab our sling and we're going to chuck that thing at the Capitol like Goliath and see what happens. So, January the 3rd. Yeah, no physical violence. Don't bring your slings and rocks. But metaphorically, we're going to give it our best shot when it comes to Sacramento on the 3rd. And we're going to do that with our friends all throughout the state. So
now Lotella said hopefully via bus. She said my plan is to go hopefully via bus.
Yeah, that'll be the plan.
If we have enough people, I think that it would be better to take a bus, because we can all, if we all chip in, X amount of dollars. I mean, gas is so expensive.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a pay for your seat kind of thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I mean, it would be cheaper to get a bus
or 10.
Well, yes.
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 I'm being optimistic.
Okay.
I'm full of holiday chope. I'm full of holiday hope and cheer. That's what I was going for.
And so, yeah, we're hoping, we're planning.
We're choping.
We're doing something.
Yeah.
We're tired.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the answer to that question,
we'll end up just getting a bus, because it'll be cheaper. It'll be cheaper for us to just take a bus than it would be for us to drive ourselves, because of the cost of gas.
And then you don't have like 1,000 cars going to Sacramento and trying to find a place to park and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about any of that.
So
any bus contacts or connections to get a bus.
That is a great comment right there, because if anyone here in our group, again, has a contact with, Valley Charter or any of these charter bus companies, I don't know, if you know somebody who knows somebody, let's, make the ask. Maybe they can help us, give us a discounted rate. Maybe they can just, make sure they have buses available for us, whatever the case might be. But what I see in my mind's eye with this is sending a couple buses to every community. We send a bus or two to Exeter. We send a bus or two to Porterville. We send a bus or two to Visalia, Tulare. We send one out to Tipton, Pixley. Get, whoa. I know the part owner of Classic Charter. Boom. You are our person. Who's that? Paul, you're the man. See if you can make that contact and, see what we can figure out. So that would be great. But anyway, if we can send a bus or two out to every location, I'm seeing this just caravan of buses that, is coming from Tulare County. And I feel like I'm hearing like music playing in the background as we're driving down the highway and getting ready to go into Sacramento. And it's going to be amazing. So, this is what we're seeing. It's going to be like the Trump trains, of old, but on steroids and not necessarily political. So, make sure that A, your calendar is clear. B, you're telling other people about it. We all know people. You'll probably talk to a bunch of them over Thanksgiving that need to be a part of this thing. And, let's get, I was kind of pledging. I said, can we get 1,000 or 1,500 people out of Tulare County to go to Sacramento? And I think, that number sounds huge, but it's really not huge. It's not huge at all. So we can get that done. I believe that in Tulare County, we can make that happen, and we can lead the charge when it comes to doing this whole thing. So anyway, be there on January 3rd.
We already have people making calls out now.
Boom. Yes.
For
Call them.
buses.
Nail them. Call your neighbors too. Tell them, hey, you got nothing going on January 3rd. You're coming with us to Sacramento.
No, but they're making calls out for buses.
Yes. Make calls for buses. Let's
Yeah.
get a bunch of them going.
So that's awesome.
That's sweet. You guys are amazing. We knew if we could just mobilize
That's
the
so
army here,
crazy.
the UMTC army, that stuff was going to happen.
Give an update on sweatshirts.
Sweatshirts are being ordered tomorrow. So if you want a sweatshirt, it is go time. So reach out to us either on this thread, or that's another one of the posts that's pinned up at the top of our Facebook feed. You can check that out. Sweatshirts are $25 any size. Kid sizes are available. They just have the unmasked Tulare County across the chest. They're hoodies, and we can get those ordered in, and we'll get them in as soon as possible. It's a little bit tricky to know exactly when they're going to come in, because I know that's one of the industries that they're a little bit at the mercy of how many, what sweatshirts they can get and all of that stuff. So you can pay us through Venmo, through PayPal, through cash, through, however, cryptocurrency. Well, probably not cryptocurrency.
No.
Yeah, we don't accept
think
crypto.
we do crypto.
Sorry, not there yet. So gold bars are fine. Silver, if you want to go grab a bunch of the copper wiring out of the street lights outside. No, don't do that either.
Hey, sorry, side note. Paul asked what time the rally is in Sacramento.
It's going to be in the afternoon. That's really all I know. I'm thinking it's going to shoot for probably somewhere between 1 to 3 o'clock start. Because that is the time. I want to say it's like 1 o'clock that all of the legislators report. Plus, we wanted to give time for people to be able to drive up that day, so it didn't have to become a multiple day thing. So if you want to go up that day and come back, just realize it's going to be a long day. Probably want to pack like a lunch and some snacks, things along those lines for being in a crowd that big. We'll give some more of those kind of tips as we get closer. But it's looking to be an early afternoon rally. But the buses would probably have to go, 8, 9 o'clock, and they'd be back late if I had to guess. So anyway, that's probably all we have. Again, if you want to order sweatshirts, get those orders into us. January 3rd, make sure that's on your calendar and you're preparing to go. December 11th, same thing. That's a Saturday. That's going to be our local countywide rally that we'd love to get, hundreds of people out there at that park. And then the Tulare Christmas Parade coming up on this Thursday night, and you'll have more information in the next day or two. So,
well, we do real quick. I don't know if I said this earlier or if we said this earlier.
Go.
Is that the theme for the parade is Prancer's Pajama Party. So all we're going to, like, as far as our costume or whatever, we're just going to have, pajama pants on, like, I don't know, flannel, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was hoping we would have our sweatshirts in by then, but I don't think those will be here.
I doubt it.
So,
wear something comfortable. If you have an unmasked Tulare County t-shirt, maybe put some layers on underneath it, throw your t-shirt on over it so people can see that. If you have patriotic stuff, bring patriotic stuff, but we want to be festive. Christmas stuff is always appropriate too, because we're doing a Christmas thing. So, but
then also be dressed warm too, because it does get pretty chilly out there. I didn't look to see what the weather's going to be, but
absolutely.
It'll be cold. So anyways.
Okay.
So much for not having a long.
Yeah, no, we're under an hour. We're going to keep it that way.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's basically it for tonight. So we are getting into the Christmas season. We do have a few things that are going on. It's probably going to slow down a little bit. We do want to encourage you to take a step back from all the crazy that's happening in the world. And, as we come into the Christmas season, let's remember the reason for the season. And, Jesus is the greatest gift ever given to us. And regardless of what's going on in the world, we have Jesus, and he's an incredible thing, the salvation that he gives us, and the fact that he came and saved us, and all of these things. So there's always reason to be thankful. And I love the way the season is set up, that we start with Thanksgiving, and we put ourselves in that attitude, that attitude of gratitude, the attitude of Thanksgiving. And that's our starting place for going through the season. And, with all the normal hustle and bustle add to it, the Megatron variant that's showing up, and all the conversation that's going to happen, and all the frustrations and things that we have going on. But carve out some time. Just enjoy this Christmas season. Let's keep our foot on the gas. We're not backing off, but we do also realize that people are really busy through the holiday season. So we're not going to be asking you to show up to stuff every week, or, come to multiple rallies per week or anything along those lines. So we're going to back off a little bit when it comes to that. Keep in contact with the page, keep in contact with, what we have going on. We'll be reaching out and doing all kinds of stuff, but really enjoy your family, enjoy your kids, enjoy your relatives and your loved ones, and the reason for this whole season. Let's allow it to be joyful, and let's allow it to, be what it needs to be, in each of our lives. And so we just want to encourage you with that. And, just say that we love you and we appreciate all of you. And, something this Thanksgiving that I was thinking about was just, how much our lives have changed in the last 6 months. And, even our circle of friends and the people, so many of you that we've come to know and love and appreciate as friends, and people who are standing alongside of us and fighting a good fight. We're so grateful for you, like so grateful for you. You don't understand how grateful we are for all of you who are, new members of our lives, or even old members of our lives where it's been kind of reinvigorated a little bit. So we are so grateful for all of you, and we look forward to the battles that are ahead. We look forward to standing in the trenches with you. We look forward to seeing victories. We look forward to, crying through defeats, and, hopefully coming out on top of this thing, because we, the people, are coming. We're going to take this thing back. And I really just see great things in our future. This painting up behind me right here was something that I asked Marilyn for Christmas last year. And it's simply it's a prophetic painting is really what it was. It was painted at a prophetic conference several years ago. And it's the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So that represents Jesus up there. And he's got the California flag basically in his clutches, and he's standing guard over it, and he's roaring. And I firmly believe that that is a prophetic picture, that God is speaking through that picture. And he's saying that as crappy as things look, as impossible as things look in the state of California, I've got this in my clutches, in my paws, and I'm roaring over California. And the way that God does things is he doesn't always use the people you would think he would use. He doesn't always use the pastors and the preachers and the priests and all of those things. The way that God works is he takes the misfits of society. He takes the people who are just the normal people, the people who are the real ones, and who are not just trying to play religion, but say, you know what, we need to do something. And he takes those kind of people, and he uses that. He uses us. He uses those of us. And maybe we're not the most religious people. Maybe we don't go to church every week, but we know in our hearts when something is right or something is wrong. And God takes us and he molds us, and he creates a situation just like this up here, where he says, you know what, I'm going to use this army. I'm going to use these people that no one would believe that I would use to bring revival into California and to turn things around in California. That's who I'm going to use. And so that's what I see when I pray, when I dream about what could happen in our county. This is about more than masks. This is about more than vaccines. This is about taking something back and seeing California restored to what it has been, what it's supposed to be. Seeing God just do a revival through us, through those of us who are just willing to step out and take a chance and do things. And so I don't know why I started preaching, but just wanted to share that out there, that we're going to win this fight. And we look forward, and we're grateful for every single one of you. And we look forward to standing with you arm in arm, battling and making this thing happen. So we love you. We appreciate you. You good?
I'm good.
You're good? All right. So that's good preaching right there, apparently. Anyway, we love you. We appreciate you. You got anything to say?
No, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head.
Okay. So let's get out there. Let's enjoy the season, and let's do something. We love you. Talk to you later.